4th of 2026 Stoughton City Council meeting, and we'll do roll call.
Thank you. Caravello.
Here.
Wozniak Scanlon.
Here.
Hirsch.
Here.
Jensen.
Here.
Tillotson.
Tired.
Reeves.
Here.
Butler.
Here.
Schumacher.
Here.
Viano.
Here.
Abel.
Here.
And Nino.
Here.
Okay, we have 11 alders present. Alder Sherlocky is absent and excused.
All right, we are certified of compliance with open meeting laws. Nobody was signed up for public comment, communications and presentations. Any communications from alders? All right, hearing none, we'll go into presentations. President Schumacher.
All right, I wanted to keep this one just a little bit shorter because I wasn't sure how long the previous meeting was going to run. So, a little bit shorter, but with the closing of the Olympic Games on Sunday, I thought we would look at some of the athletes, Olympic athletes that have come out of Stoughton. So here is a chronology of those. We have Albert Aaron Johnson, that was in the 1904 St. Louis Olympic Games. Born right here in Stoughton, competed in multiple throwing events in the 04 Olympics, participated in the hammer throw, shot put, and weight throw, which I'm not fully sure what the weight throw was at that time. That was not part of the modern Olympics, I don't believe. Was among the earliest of the Olympic athletes connected to Stoughton, and represented the community's presence in the formative years for that international sport. Second up was Russ Hellickson, although was not born directly in Stoughton, but did go to high school here. So in the 1976 Montreal Olympics, silver medal in wrestling, standout of wrestling at Stoughton High School, NCAA champion, and later a head coach at Ohio State, and inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. Helped work on Stoughton's national reputation for wrestling. Then the follow-up for that one, Andy Reen, 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, silver medal in wrestling, also born here in the city. NCAA champ at UW in 1980. Pan American Games gold in 1979, and promoted the Stoughton wrestling tradition. Last is just a summary of all of those, the tradition of excellence spanning more than 80 years with athletic programs that are primed to generate even more in the future. We just had the ski jump yet, right?
Yeah. All right, thank you. Next item is the consent agenda. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion by Jensen and a second by Tillotson. Would anybody like anything acted on separately? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed? None opposed, that motion carries. First item is first reading Ordinance 3 of 2026 from the Plan Commission. Alderperson Caravello.
Yes, my computer is not cooperating with me at the moment.
All right.
But yes, you are on the right one if we are on 03 of 2026, which is the first reading of an ordinance by the Common Council of the City of Stoughton amending sections 14-481 sidewalk cafes. And it's a first reading.
Yep. Chris, you want to go over this one quick?
I can. All it is allowing the sidewalk cafe people that hold it to leave their furniture out overnight. If they so choose, they still have to meet all the normal regulations of ADA compliance, which is the 5 feet of clearance on the sidewalk and whatnot, but this is giving them the option.
All right, any questions on it? Otherwise, he'll be back for a second reading. All right, we'll go on to the next one, which was at finance earlier. Oh, sure.
It says that the city requires businesses to bring in all material and equipment and furniture nightly, so where is that option?
It's marked off, like we're marking it out.
We're
That's
striking
on
it.
the below part,
Yeah, that's
but the
what's,
recitals,
that should be what's getting approved. Hang on. So it's, what's being marked out says, all material, equipment, furniture comprising of the sidewalk cafe must be removed. So that's currently in the ordinance and it's being marked, it's marked out.
right, so the recitals up above that, that's also gonna be out?
Do you remember off the top of your head, Rick?
Yeah, so the recitals of the ordinance aren't part of the actual ordinance language, that's just explaining the purpose. So the actual ordinance is just deleting the language right now that mandates that they bring all their furniture in at night.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I was confused, I saw that it was, but then the recital is saying that's there, so I didn't understand what the recitals actually meant.
Nope, totally get it. So, yeah, the ordinance just removes the requirement for the bringing the furniture in. So the recitals aren't part of the actual language that's going to be in the code.
Okay. Otherwise, this will be back at the next meeting. Next one was, came from finance earlier, Alderperson Butler.
This is 04 of 2026, ordinance by the Common Council of the City of Stoughton amending Section 66-1407 and 78-919 of the Stoughton Code of Ordinances delegating authority to the mayor to execute certain cost reimbursement agreements, and this is a first reading.
All right, and maybe you want to just highlight it?
Right, so at the last meeting, we adopted an amendment to the TIF policy that allowed the mayor to execute a cost reimbursement agreement whenever a developer submits a TIF application. So this is a similar kind of policy change where currently the standard practice is for developers doing a subdivision plat or like any type of rezoning to do a cost reimbursement agreement. So it's already in ordinance that for zoning amendments, people have to reimburse the city for any consultant costs, like engineering or legal time. For some more, I guess, time-intensive projects, the standard practice has been to enter into a cost reimbursement agreement. So this would simply allow the mayor to execute a cost reimbursement agreement if somebody submits a subdivision plat or a condominium plat. And then for rezoning applications, this would allow the mayor to execute a cost reimbursement agreement that's subject to like the standard form that would be approved by the city attorney. For rezonings, the current ordinance says if this anticipated city costs, or this amendment says if the anticipated city costs are more than $1,000, a cost reimbursement agreement would be required. At finance tonight, there was discussion because typically we would do these to get a deposit down to secure payment, but there are more like accounting and logistic issues if we start doing this for every developer, every person that submits a rezone request. So finance recommended adjusting that to a cost reimbursement agreement if the costs are $5,000 or more.
So this says 1,000, so we're changing it to 5,000?
Correct. So made that change at finance. It'll be updated in the next packet.
Any questions on this one? All right, this will be back, it's a first reading, it'll be back for a second reading. Next one is R19, that one also came from finance.
This is R19, 2026, a resolution approving an affordable housing extension through tax increment District Number 4 to benefit affordable housing and improve housing stock within the city of Stoughton, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Schumacher. Alderperson Butler.
This, we've discussed this before. TID 4 is at the end of its life, but state law allows us to utilize increment for certain purposes. Among them is affordable housing, and that's the proposal here. Lisa?
Any questions or comments or anything you want to add?
I'm just going to add, so it's the 1 year of increment, and that is the amount of $307,042 is what would be deposited in the affordable housing account or fund.
Go ahead.
So we're not extending the TID for a year to get this?
We
So
are.
we're, but it says
Correct.
0 months that it's
Correct.
extended?
So it's, they call it an extension. It doesn't truly have to be an extension of a full year. So we're using this year's increment value to do the affordable housing extension so that we're allowed to use those funds and put them into an affordable
Okay, so-
housing fund.
All right, so we can't extend it another year, we can only extend it for this.
Right, I
Okay.
mean,
All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments on this one? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Approved. Next one is R20, also from Finance.
This is our 2026, a resolution approving termination of tax incremental district number 4, and I so move.
Is there a second? Second by Wozniak Scanlon. Alderperson Butler.
This is to close the TID we just talked about. I don't know what else to add, Lisa.
I can just add that the increment value is at about 16.8 million. So when it comes to levy limit increases, you only get a portion of that. So it's the increment value divided by the TID out, equalized value of the closure year, and you get 50% of that. So it's 50% of the increment value as a percentage of the TID out equalized value. So that percentage times your actual levy. So we're estimating about 34,000 of a levy limit increase from a closure of the TID. The value, though, you get the full value in calculating the tax rate. So just, I want to make that distinction there, so we know what we're expecting.
Anybody have any questions on that? What's that? Okay. Oh,
That was a lot. That was a lot to take in this time of the night.
I just, in general, we don't get the full value like for a levy limit increase. You get the value when calculating the rate. So when we decide how much we're levying and we take the assessed value, so that 16.8 million, that's the equalized when it's equated to assessed value. You know, when you divide that out to the levy to get to the rate, we get that full value. But for a levy limit adjustment, you're getting a percentage of that to be able to increase your levy. Okay.
I hope there's not a quiz already.
I got one ad there.
all right, go ahead.
Lisa, can we maybe at some point get, it is on. Can we have a presentation on the, on like a TID 101 closure part?
I would be happy
Just
to.
a slide or two or
Okay.
something like that. Because I
Yep.
think when you see it out visually, then all the naming of it and descriptions make a lot more
Yeah,
sense.
so I'll have numbers to this calculation and then you can see how that's derived.
Okay.
I like a visual. Thank you.
Yeah, so the top didn't light up at the bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think it's working.
Well, that might
Maybe
not
your
be-
battery died.
Okay.
Okay, well, we got to vote on that
Oh,
one?
yeah, we did. No, we didn't get a vote on it.
All right, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Next one looks like it's from Finance, imagine that.
R21 of 2026, to amend the 2026 operating budget for stormwater administration fees, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Reeves, Alderperson Butler.
This is to amend the budget because there was a mistakenly excluded fee, or fees.
Correct. So one thing, the stormwater wasn't contributing any administrative fees. We went over this during the budget. So the amount got entered into the general fund revenues. The expense on the stormwater side wasn't entered into the budget. So this is just amending the budget on the stormwater side to, for that expenditure to the general fund.
Questions or comments on this one? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Next one looks like resolution from Public Works. Public Works.
It was a finance
I
item.
think this is finance too.
Oh, Finance?
Yep.
Wait, oh, for Public Works from Finance, okay. I should have known.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you're not sick of me yet, then R22, 2026, to amend the 2026 capital budget for sale of street sweeper number 12 for Public Works, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Wozniak, Scanlon, Alderperson Butler.
Unless my math fails me, which is entirely possible, it looks like this is a revenue benefit due to the sale of a street sweeper that came in higher than we expected.
Correct. So previously it was approved to increase the expenditures for the additional expense that the street sweeper ended up being. And then there was a little estimate in, yeah, we're going to get more revenues. Well, we got a lot more in the sale than anticipated. So this is just amending the budget to recognize that amount of revenue that we'll receive.
All right, any questions on that one?
How does one go about selling a street sweeper? Is there like a Craigslist for that?
There's an auction,
Is it?
yeah,
Like
there's a surplus auction that we typically go to, and we can buy and sell equipment on there.
Badger State one, it's got great stuff on it.
Yeah, you looking to pick something up?
I think I've been on that site. You want a street sweeper? Make sure I'll extra clean.
Any other questions or comments? All right, do we vote on that one?
Not yet.
Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Next one is R23 from the Plan Commission.
And this is R23 of 2026, approving a conditional use permit for indoor commercial entertainment located at 2320 Jackson Street, units 116, 117, and 118 Castle condominiums, with the option to expand into further units 112, 113, and 115, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Tillerson, Alderperson Caravello.
And these folks would like to use this, it's the folks that run the Imagine Academy. I think this would be a fine use for this space. There are a couple of, I don't know, I guess I'd call them minor conditions attached, but that's about it. I think it would be a good move for those guys.
All right, anything you want to add, Director Munz-Pritchard?
Did you want to speak, or are you good?
I can.
We have one of the applicants
Oh,
here.
Tyler?
So,
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tyler Tanzer. I am a member of the board of directors of Imagine Academy. I was recently appointed. I'm happy to serve that organization. They are a nonprofit that's been based in the space just down the street on Jefferson that's attached to Primal Strength and Fitness. They've been based there for a few years now. And the intent of the move overall is to just create a space that can facilitate and serve more families that are, beneficiaries of the services of Imagine Academy. It is also a more accessible space for those who, benefit from Imagine Academy services, who have special, needs or have, needs for additional accommodations. Currently, the setup where they are upstairs is such that for those who cannot make it up a flight of stairs, they need a significant amount of assistance. This would be a space that is more appropriate to serve, people who are attending the programs and the classes and everything there, to do so in a way that isn't, quite so taxing on everybody to make that happen, but also it's bigger, it's better, it's more fun, and we're planning a grand opening for it very soon, so stay tuned. But big thanks to the members of the commission for their recommendation to approve, and I hope this council does so as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14 is R24. This one's from Plan Commission.
And this is approving an extraterritorial land division at parcel number 0611-324-8561-0 and 0611-324-85307, Town of Pleasant Springs, separating existing residents from farmland, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Tilson, second.
All right, Alderperson Caravello.
And it's kind of explanatory in the resolution. This is simply separating the existing residents from the adjacent farmland.
All right, any questions on this one? Go ahead.
Why? I mean, why did that, I'm just, so I understand the process, they're moving away from the farmland, like, so they're gonna change the structure of it, or what is that?
So, yeah, I can explain this. So first of all, it's an extraterritorial jurisdiction, so it's actually not within the city limits. It's actually just this one happens to be literally like right outside the city limits. But essentially, they're separating the original farmstead, and my guess is most likely selling it back to the family. And if you're familiar, if you look, well, you can look at any of them, I guess, but you can see in red is what they're separating, so that's the original farmstead, and the rest of the stuff around it is what's being, and I think, speaking out of turn, but it could be like Emmy Roth or somebody along those lines is purchasing it, so. Yeah, the house is, they're separating off that farmstead, and I don't know if they're selling it back to, I would assume they're selling it back to some of the original landowners.
All right, any other questions or comments?
In the, just if you notice, in the documentation here about the county's information, it does list in the rezone petition, it lists Emmy Roth.
Yeah, I think they were leasing it back at one point. Yeah. Okay. Anything else on that one? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? That motion carries. This last one, where'd this one come from? Finance? Go ahead.
Why not? This is R25 of 2026 to amend the 2025 adopted budget for departmental deficits and expenditures exceeding budgetary authority, and I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alder Reeves. Alderperson Butler.
This passed unanimously this evening, and because she did such a wonderful job explaining it, I'll pass the baton to Director Trevitowski.
Okay, on the next document, there is a chart. So it breaks it out by general fund, the TIDS, special revenue funds, debt service, capital outlay, and the business type funds. Going across, we can see what the revenues are, the expenditures, and then whether there was a surplus or a deficit, what that percentage was as of budgeted expenditures. Then it lists the expenditures exceeding the budget. And then the last column is the actual budget entry that you'll see the details of on another sheet. But looking just at the general fund, if you net out the surplus to the deficit, the general fund actually is having a surplus of $296,014. This is preliminary. We're still going through our audit, so if anything should change. So happy to answer any questions or go over any of the specifics. I may have to look it up, but of why some of these exceeded the budget or why there might be a deficit.
Any questions or comments? I know some of them were answered during the Finance Committee meeting.
So just to summarize, the surpluses outnumber the deficit, so
Correct.
we're not having to try to find more money to pay for this. We actually have it.
Right.
Correct.
That's simple, okay, good.
Yep. Anything else? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? That motion carries. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to, you got like 3 or 4 of them.
Was it?
You got like 3 or 4
Jensen?
of them, take
Who wants the second? All right, who had the first? Butler?
Second.
First, second. Who's on first? Who's?
All right, all in favor? say
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
Awesome.